welcome to another teacher talk session tonight. And tonight we are going to have our 60-second session. And before starting our live session, I would like to say that we are really sorry about the forest fire in Turkey. And I hope actually, and we are going to handle this as soon as possible, and we will get rid of this together as a whole country. And also this situation is also the same for most of the countries, I mean the parts of the world. So, and I hope we will get rid of this soon. All right, tonight we are going to have another educator from different parts of the world, and tonight we are going to have our guest from England. Yes, and tonight we are going to have, as I said, from another educator, and she is ESL Segment Manager at Twinkl Educational Publishing, Miranda Crowhurst. And I hope I pronounced correctly her surname. When she comes, we are going to start, and there she is. Let me invite her to the session, and we can start our live session with her. Invited?
Hello.
Yes, there she is. Hello, Miranda. It's great to see you.
Likewise.
And I hope I pronounced your surname correctly. Crowhurst. Is it?
Perfect.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, Miranda. And before start our live session, I would like to say thank you to accept my invitation to Teacher Talks. It's a really great honor to have you here in this live session. And I'm sure that we are going to have a very fruitful session with you tonight.
I think so too. I'm so excited to talk to you.
All right, wonderful. All right, Miranda, and if you're ready, and we can start.
Yeah.
Can we? Sure. All right. And I know you and I know about you, Miranda, but our guests, listeners would like to know about you probably. So can you tell us about yourself, please, and a bit about your experiences too?
Sure. Okay. So I'm from the UK, but I've taught all over the world in Tanzania and Bolivia, and I now live in the USA.
Wow.
And I started a language school with some friends in Bolivia, so I have a lot of experience teaching and running a language school. And now I work for Twinkl, the educational publisher. So it is my job to help English teachers around the world, especially in Europe. But you know, we're there for everyone. So yeah, I love my job so much because I just get to make sure that English teachers have a great time teaching English, which is how it should be, I think.
And that's why you are there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Miranda. So let's move to another question. And the next question is, what were some turning points in your own education?
Okay, so I think a big thing for me is that when I was younger, to my parents, we had a spare room in our house, and they rented this spare room to people from all over the world.
Wow.
So when I was a child, every few months there would be a new person living with us from a different country. And I think for me, that really meant that from a very young age, I was like, wow, there are so many different cultures and places, and, getting to meet people and get to know people from China and Sweden
Wonderful.
and Brazil. And so I love that. And I think that made me want to explore the world. I don't know. I think that counts as education.
That's great. It's kind of au pair, something like this, like they come there.
They weren't looking after us. They were renting the room.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. That's a turning point for you. Wonderful. It's to know the other people from other countries. It's great. All right. Thank you, Miranda. And my next question is, what is your philosophy of teaching as an educator?
I think the more I teach, the more I just try and remember to be kind. It's something that I still forget that sometimes. I still forget that, but I think I try and just remember just be kind and see things from your learner's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You're not there to just like get through a textbook. You're there to help them, and you have to just constantly remind yourself to, okay, relate to your learner, see things from their perspective, be nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it really.
it's wonderful. It's a nice philosophy. Thank you, Miranda. So, my next question is actually, we know that you are the manager at Twinkl Educational Publishing. So, can you tell us about Twinkl ESL and this educational publishing, and what is it? What do you do there? And how did you decide this? And another question is, why did you choose this name? Maybe there are lots of questions, but sorry about that.
So I am a manager at Twinkl, but I don't own Twinkl and I didn't
I
start the
see.
company. So I didn't decide the name, but I like the name. I think
Oh,
it's
I see.
very
Okay then.
friendly. But I found this job online, and I'm really passionate about connecting the business world and the
Mm-hmm.
education world, and helping teachers, but also helping schools build as a company. Often as teachers, we have to be involved in that as well. And that's what I'm really passionate about. And that's what I get to do in my job. Yeah, and Twinkl is a big company. We make resources for teachers. We have over 700,000 resources.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wonderful. We are going
I
to talk
know.
about it.
Yeah. We'll talk more about it.
Yeah. All right. It's a very big company about, I think, for English second language. I mean, like it's a kind of a ELT company, kind of English language teaching.
It's more than that. It
More
can,
than
we
that.
have math, science resources, pretty much
Mm-hmm.
every subject. Yeah.
I see. All right then. So, would you like to add anything about Twinkl ESL or?
Just like, we have 700,000 resources, but we
Mm-hmm.
also partner. Have you heard of Netflix? We partner with
Oh,
Netflix.
wow! You are a partner of Netflix?
Yes, yes.
Wow!
The BBC, the Champions League in the UK. You can find Harry Potter. You can find the official Harry Potter
I'm
resources
impressed.
on
Uh-huh.
Twinkl. Yes, and they're
Wonderful.
all free. All of those are free.
Wow.
And we also have a lot more than just resources. We have educational apps. We
Mm-hmm.
have interactive games. We are just so many things that, and also illustrations and templates so that you can make your own resources
Mm-hmm.
look really professional.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miranda. And I I just solved from the website that there's a Twinkl newsroom stories. So
Yeah.
what is it? Can you tell us about it?
I can. So Twinkl Newsroom is a new news story. That's a tongue twister. A new news story every day for children. Charlie says, I love free stuff. Me too. And I'm always giving stuff away for free from Twinkl. I
Wonderful.
love giving freebies. So it's a new story every single day for kids, with vocabulary support,
Mm-hmm.
with videos, with ideas for discussion and debate. So they can read about what's happening now and then explore that even further. And I am super passionate about it because I think, if you're working from a textbook that's sometimes they're 5, 6 years old, and the kids are reading these stories like, oh, this is out of date, this is not relevant anymore. So Newsroom allows you to be like, okay, what's happening in the world? Like, what happened yesterday? Let's talk about it in class. And just, I think that can be really engaging and fun,
I see.
because it's so great as an educator to make a class that
Mm-hmm.
really excites your students.
I
So
see.
yeah, that's what
That's
Twinkl
all.
Newsroom does.
I see. Wonderful. And I saw that there's I mean, like the audience and says, I really like free stuff. I think Charlie says about your stuff that
Oh yeah.
you're providing them with a free. It's wonderful.
We all, yeah.
All right. All right, Miranda. So, I would like to ask you another questions. I really follow the videos that you have taken. So,
Mhm.
how how did you? I mean, how do you decide for that videos? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so one thing I started doing was making these videos, like you say, where I pretend to be the language of English, talking to the language of Spanish. Um, I I just thought it would be fun to make one. I think you have to kind of experiment and as English teachers, we are always experimenting and being like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what's fun? What works in our classrooms, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the differences between Spanish and English is
Hello.
something that
Uh-huh.
um, that students always think about, and they get frustrated about English and they're like, oh, why is it like this? So I thought I would take that frustration and make it into something really funny. And I hope it makes people laugh. I really hope that, but
They're
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 fun.
really they're really the funny videos, and I really like the one with the Shakespeare. I love it a lot. It's really wonderful. Really, really. That was really interesting about the Shakespeare one. It's really hard, like to take that videos, I think.
Um, I I think that the English language and languages in general are so fascinating, and we as English teachers get to explore that
Mm-hmm.
in a way that most people who speak English as a first language, they don't even think about it.
Yeah,
But we get to explore that and really look at the complexities. So I totally love that, and I totally love learning about it. And that Shakespeare video was a really good excuse to learn about the history of those words,
mm-hmm.
and how much, yeah, just how much Shakespeare added to the English language. It's really
I
cool.
see. Great, great, great. Thank you, Miranda. So, as a Twinkl Education, what kind of support, I mean, like, have you provided to the teachers and the students during this pandemic period?
So Twinkl went completely free for 3 months. We made every single resource available on the site free
Mm-hmm.
for 3 whole months. And actually, over 1 million people, over 1 million teachers and parents signed
Wow.
up for free access during those first 3 months of COVID. I mean, everything was just, no one knew how to operate education online. Parents were panicking, teachers were panicking. So yeah, I really feel like I'm very proud of what our CEO decided to do in making everything free, because that's scary as a company. But I'm
I
happy that we did it.
that you're happy about it. All right. So you have, I mean, like you have provided a lot of things to the teachers and the students and the parents too. That's wonderful. It's a great, great thing. All right. So actually, you have mentioned it, but I just would like to again ask you: can every teacher or everybody become a member of Twinkl ESL, or should they pay for it?
So you can find over 100,000 resources for free on Twinkl. I think it's over 125,000. So if I were you, I would
Wow.
start with free membership. Yeah, start with a free membership. See what you can get. See if you enjoy what we have, and then you can pay just for 1 month. It's about the price of a sandwich. So just pay for 1 month, and then again, like, see where you are, see if you enjoy it, and then you can get a really good deal when you get the annual subscription. But
I
start with the free one, Vulcan. Don't tell my boss I told you that, but
Okay,
start with
I
the
will do
free
that. I will
one.
start with the free one. Okay then.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
And especially if you join the Facebook group that I run, or the Facebook page, then
Yeah, I
you
see
I
that.
send out a lot of freebies on that page and that group. So you can get a lot just by keeping up with the social media.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Great. I will just actually I have already become a member of the Facebook page. Yeah, yeah, and
Oh,
also
cool.
Instagram. So
Great.
I suggest to everybody to do that. It's wonderful. Okay then. So okay, that's not now. Let's move to the another questions. Is it about again the language? So which one is important, fluency or accuracy, Miranda?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Um, I think as ESL teachers, I think we spend a lot of time on accuracy, but it is amazing what you can communicate if you have the right vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have no grammar. You
Yeah.
know, if I said like yesterday I go to the shops, you understand that I mean
Uh-huh.
went. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so if our ultimate goal is communication, I think fluency is and confidence
Mm-hmm.
is good. And pronunciation to the point of you can understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't, you don't have to like go through the tiny, tiny, tiny things. But I'm on the side of fluency. Do you agree or disagree with that? I'm interested to know what everyone thinks,
No,
actually.
actually, the which one is important? Like the fluency and accuracy. As long as you can communicate with the others, that's like it's not about the accuracy. It's about the
Yeah,
fluency. That's not the case. And if you can, the transfer what you want, what you mean to the other
yeah,
side. So that's the thing I think for me, like the
yeah.
fluency
It
and
looks like,
accuracy. It's not like the vocab, as you mentioned. That I agree
yeah,
actually with you.
I think so. It looks like Charlie agrees as well.
Yeah,
Charlie's left
fluency
us.
over accuracy. Yeah, I agree, Charlie. Thank you.
Mhm.
And someone,
Until you
let
start teaching,
yeah, let me tell you, someone, Mr. Doctor Tamar Dalitse. Hello, by the way, and she's from Georgia, and she said, "I'm interested if the ELF has undergone change during the pandemic." I think she said, yeah, during the pandemic. She just made a comment about it. Thank you very much. And Charlie says we
yeah,
always encourage our students not to be afraid of making mistakes. So fluency is more important. Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Fluency is more important than about it. I totally agree. Thank you very much,
You know,
Charlie and Dr.
I
Talitze.
really agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes, until you get to the FCE exam and
Yeah.
you're doing those sentence transformations and you're like, oh, I wish this was about fluency.
So
Yeah.
that's the case. All right then. So let's move to the other question. Thank you very much, by the way, Miranda, for your answer. And why do some teachers and the students think that teaching and learning English is not easy?
Because it isn't easy.
Just a simple answer about it because it's not easy because it isn't easy.
I think we see a lot of adverts online which say things like learn English in 3 weeks. But it's just not true. Like learning a language is and teaching a language never that process never stops. Like I'm still
Uh-huh.
learning English. I'm still
Yeah,
learning new words. And it's,
exactly.
I've been speaking it since I was a baby. So there's always more to learn and there's always more to learn about teaching and you have to go in with that mindset, have fun, yes, but also don't think that it's easy. Oof, at least for me it's not.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you, Miranda. But in my country, most of teachers focus on accuracy rather than fluency.
Mm,
Yeah, they says Eskandari. All right, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, but some teachers and do that, and others think that's different. That's different point. But I think for Miranda, let's say, she says the fluency is important, not the accuracy.
I think so,
Yeah.
but it is like I feel like a lot of textbooks push you into teaching accuracy.
Hmm.
Would you agree with that?
Actually, maybe yeah, some of the books and the textbooks that we have, they some of them, yeah, they focus on accuracy rather than fluency. So, but that's
Yeah,
indifferent. Which one you would like to choose about it? It's your choice.
totally. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let's another question. So, and we have answered this one. Teaching and the learning is not easy. So let's move to other question, which is it easy to write a blog or a newsletter for ELT World?
Uh, Vulcan, I have a secret, but you can't tell anyone.
No
Okay.
problem.
When I have to write the newsletter every week, and I
Wow.
just wait. I just wait until I'm feeling really sarcastic. Don't tell anyone. But I just wait until I'm like, ah, let's make some bad jokes and make a newsletter. So I find it, if I'm in the right mood, I find it really easy. Yeah, but I find
What
making
if
the
not?
images
It's difficult, I think, huh? It's not easy. You spend, for example, I think you are, as you mentioned that you write a blog every week. So how many hours does it take to write one newsletter, or days maybe?
You know, the newsletter is pretty quick. What I find really hard is making the images. When I
Ah,
have to make a lot like GIFs or
mm-hmm.
GIF, um, and make things look, I don't know, I find that hard. That's not my strength. Yeah, it takes me most of a day.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, yeah.
It's difficult one. All right. So thank you about it. So can you give us, actually, I know that you have lots of activities and lots of things to do in your, I mean, like the websites, like the Twinkl ESL. So can you give us one or maybe two fun activities to use for warm up in our classes? Is it possible?
Yes. Okay, I will give you some no preparation warm-up games, one for kids and one for adults.
Wow.
So my favorite no preparation, no resources warm-up game for kids is called Questions Football.
Ah,
And
I see. Mm-hmm.
all you need is a ball. Okay, and you have one kid who is the goalkeeper, and the goal is a table. And you have another kid who is going to try and make a penalty.
Yeah.
And the kids take turns, right? So you have them waiting and lining up and taking turns. The child who has the football asks the question. The
Uh-huh.
goalie has to answer the question, and then they get a chance to try and score a penalty. So
I
they're
see.
like, "What's your name?" "My name's Tom." And then they'll try and get a penalty, and then they switch with other kids in the
Other
class.
kids. Uh-huh.
So that is penalty questions football, and kids loved it. They wanted to play it every single class. And the great thing about that game in particular is that they get to practice asking questions, because a lot of the time kids get a lot of practice answering questions, but not much practice actually asking the questions. So I
Questions. I
love that
see.
game.
It's
And
wonderful. Thank you. Uh-huh.
with adults, my favorite game is my warm-up game, no preparation, no materials, is to line them up in two lines
Mm-hmm.
facing each other and do a mini debate.
Uh-huh.
So say to what, for example, depending on the topic that you're doing,
Mm-hmm.
say, for example, okay, you are a parent, your teenage son or daughter came home 2 hours late. What are you going to say to them and tell the other student, okay, you're a teenager, you
Ah,
came home 2 hours late. And then they have that conversation, have that debate.
conversation. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and they get really animated. It's
I see.
so fun. I love that.
It's
Yeah.
really nice. And I'm sure that there are lots of interesting ideas come up about it for that, especially with adults. All right. And the one with the first one also very nice and very energetic game. Thank you.
Yeah.
There are some comments and questions, Miranda. Thank you much. Thank you very much. I hope I can see them. So yes, for the exam accuracy is necessary, but communication needs fluency. Every language has a different melody. All right, thank you. And Ragazza Del Mare says, how can you catch the inspiration spirit for writing? Hard one.
Okay, well, I think you can look at, this is a cheat. If you really want to get inspiration, this is always a cheat. Take a look at Google. Find out what people are searching, what questions people are searching on Google, because Google will tell you what questions people are searching, and then answer those questions.
That's it.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Okay. From
yeah,
tomorrow, I'll do that. It's a
yeah,
wonderful one.
exactly. And another thing that can be really powerful is to look at what events are coming up.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of teachers now are just about to go back to school. So write a blog about how to, how to start a new school year with new students. Yeah, look at events. Events are always really fun in
I
class, and
see.
teachers are looking for inspiration. So yeah,
I see.
that's
Thank
good
you.
advice.
Thank you. And Charlie says, I love no prep ideas. Wonderful.
Hmm.
And also, I'm an English teacher as well as, sorry, as well as, what? Sorry, I missed it. Let me find here. Huh. I'm an English teacher as well as English learner simultaneously. I think I get stuck for more than a year. I can't see any progress in my English. Could you please guide me? Thanks in advance.
Okay, yeah, I can give you three recommendations,
Yeah.
depending on what you like. Recommendation number one would be if you like reading, I would spend time each day reading a book or reading newspaper articles, magazine articles, whatever you're interested in,
Yeah,
read about it in English. Reading is a fantastic way to improve your vocabulary.
I
Number
see.
two, if you are interested in video games, I have seen fantastic progress from students who do. I've never played them, but I understand you can go online and play like multiplayer video games with other people online, and you have to communicate while you're, in your team. And again, I've seen
Exactly.
amazing progress from students because it's speaking practice
Uh-huh.
with people from all over the world. What could be better? And my third recommendation would be watch your favorite TV shows with the subtitles in English. Um, yeah, that has been shown scientifically to improve reading skills and
Mm-hmm.
improve vocabulary,
I see.
compared to watching a show without subtitles. So if you like books, go for that. Video games, go for
After
that.
that,
TV shows, go for that.
go for
Yeah,
that.
those would be
Three.
my recommendations.
Wonderful. Thank you, Miranda, for the three nice and useful recommendations. All right then. And I saw another, I'm sorry, I saw another comment. Yes, from Azra. Which type of writing is your favorite? And how we should practice to think, not to think non-native language during interactive group writing. Interactive group writing.
Um, what kind of writing is my favorite? I I really enjoy writing news stories,
Uh-huh.
um, because I did an internship with Cambridge University, writing news stories for them.
I see.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to get a lot of experience with journalists. So I love writing news articles, but I don't do that very much. And the second one is like how not to be translating in your mind while you write.
Exactly. I think for the mother tongue, when you write
Mm.
something, how it's possible to not to think in
Not
your,
to,
yeah, the mother tongue.
it's a really hard question. I think I would start building a bank of phrases that are useful for a particular kind of writing exercise.
I see.
So get a list. If, for example, if you're writing a news article, have a list of phrases that are often used in newspaper articles and try and include some in your writing, because those fixed or semi-fixed phrases or expressions will make your writing feel much more natural.
I
Um,
see. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so look for phrases, not individual words,
I
is my
see.
answer. But that is
Okay.
tough. I mean, be kind to
Definitely
yourself.
it's
That's
tough.
a very difficult skill to learn. Yeah.
I see. Thank you, Miranda, and for your answer for the audience questions. All right, so let's move to my questions. We have, I
Yeah.
think, answered enough questions from our audiences. So until the next questions, I'm going to ask you another one. Yes.
Sure.
What are the effects of social media in language teaching and learning?
Okay, well, I'm going to be controversial. I'm going to say it's a great thing. It's a
Uh-huh.
fantastic thing. Compared to 20 years ago, how old am I? Yeah, maybe 20 years ago, it was really hard then for your learners to connect with someone in a different country.
Yeah,
You had to write a letter, like, but now they can connect with people all over the
the
world
world.
instantly and find people who are interested in the same thing as them.
Mm-hmm.
And, making a TikTok is still practicing your English.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So I know as teachers we can be frustrated with it, especially when it's a distraction in class.
Yeah.
But I really think it's a powerful tool for your students to realize how important English can be to helping them reach their goals and connect with other people. So
I
I'm
see.
I'm pro social media for ESL, but I want to know what you think as well.
I see. Wonderful. It's, you can't escape it. You can't escape from it.
Here
Definitely.
we are.
It's if you use it in the right way, you can learn a lot and you can teach wonderful things from social media. You just
I
need to
mean, here
know.
we are, right?
Yeah, exactly. Look, this is a kind of a teaching and learning. We
Yeah.
listen to you, and we learn something from you. And the others also asking you questions, and they learn something from you. So this is a kind of a social media advantage. Yeah,
Likewise. Yeah, I'm
exactly.
learning from you all as well.
I
Yeah.
see. Thank you, Miranda. So let's move to another question, and which is related the lesson that you taught in your class. So can you tell us about a lesson that didn't go to plan? What happened and what did you do to fix it?
Does any lesson ever go completely to plan? I don't think
Actually, no, I think.
there's always something, right? There's always
Exact.
something.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think for me, a major issue can be timing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think an activity will be 10 minutes and it ends up being 25 minutes. And you're like, oh no, what are we going to do now? I think my solution to that is always skip the controlled practice and go straight to your communicative activity. Like,
Uh-huh.
ditch things in the middle to get to the end. And then you can give that controlled practice as homework if
Mm-hmm.
you have to. Yeah.
That's it. I
So
see.
that's my,
That's
yeah.
the part that something didn't go with it. Timing is the best. I mean, like the problem. I mean, oh, I see. I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
really hard. Sometimes, it affects our lessons too. The timing. You start the lesson really great, and then you do the activities, and you look at the time. I said, "Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
running out of
Yeah.
time. Let's
Yeah.
skip this
Yeah.
one, and then
Exactly.
skip this one." So that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right then. So, thank you, Miranda. My next question is related with this question again. Which three important questions should a teacher ask him or herself after every lesson?
Oh, okay. I think my number one thing that I try to do is check the mood or the energy of the students when
Uh-huh.
they go out compared to when they came in.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, a lesson was a good lesson when they come in like kind of tired. Maybe adults have been working all day, but by the time they leave,
Yeah.
they're like they really are like kind of buzzing with that, they feel that energy from the class.
Yeah.
So I look at the almost the emotional reaction of the students to the class, and that'll tell you how they felt about it. And I also try and look at what unexpected questions or roadblocks came up. So maybe I thought that the students would find something really easy, but they found it really difficult.
Difficult.
That's
Uh-huh.
one thing I always try and think about, like, oh, what did I not explain well enough? Or what problems did I not anticipate that came up in the class? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
All
my.
right then. That's all. And exit tickets for the win. Ah, yeah, maybe. Charlie
Exit
says
ticket!
exit tickets for the win. Yeah, nice one. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Miranda, for this nice, important, important questions for after, I mean, like for the teachers after every lessons that we should ask. Thank you. So next one, ready?
Ready.
Okay. Is it okay? Is it okay for teachers to have different teaching styles, or should we all teach the same way?
We're not the same people. We can't teach the same way. You know, I think being a teacher is about connecting with another person.
Yeah.
And you can't connect with that person if you're not being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every lesson where I've tried to copy the style of another teacher, it just never works because students see through it. They know it's not real.
Yeah,
So
I see.
yeah, you know, yeah, you have to bring yourself, which is really hard. I think sometimes when you're standing in front of a class, you know,
Mm-hmm.
your personality is exposed.
I see. Yeah,
And it
definitely.
can feel, it's very personal. Teaching is very personal, but you just
I
have to be yourself.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miranda. There is a question, I think. Who doesn't remember about Speak Magazine? It used to be our only one resource 30 years ago for listening training. Wow, 30 years ago. Nice one. I see. And Miss ELT and say it like, for example, mine is unique. Exactly. She says her teaching
Yeah.
style is unique. Yeah, actually, for
Right.
every teachers, it's I think unique for every teachers. All right, thank you. So next question is, what new thing should teachers add to what they teach?
Connected speech. So
Mm-hmm.
helping learners even at a low level think about the pronunciation of words, not just individually, but in a phrase. Because I think someone said earlier, you know, English,
Uh-huh.
you know, every language has its melody. And I think when you can teach the melody of English and how those words really like mesh together, and they do, I think that's very, very useful for learners and will help them gain a lot of confidence.
I
So yeah,
see.
connected speech. Yeah.
Connected
Mhm.
speech, I see. And by the way, real essential English says Speak Up Magazine, he means or she means. Speak Up. Ah, now I remember it. Speak Up Magazines. I heard about it. It's a kind of a magazine that you use it. I see. Thank you. Next question is, I really wonder what are you going to say about it? Yes, here is the question. If you could have one superpower to use in the classroom, what would it be and how would it help?
I would like to have a magic bus
Ah,
that I can put all of my students onto the bus and take them around the world.
wow.
Because, you know, we're always like looking at textbooks of different places in class and photos of different places. I would love to just take all my students and be like, let's explore the world. But that might be a bit stressful with children. I don't know if I would want to.
Yeah, that's a great
But yeah, I
superpower.
have, yeah,
That
yeah.
one, the
How
magic
about you?
bus.
What would yours be?
Ah, I really, sometimes I have lots of superpowers in my mind, I don't have only really one. And someone is, I hope to have a superpower to put the language in my students' brain, from the first lesson directly, and then that's all. That could be that one. Or maybe, for
Yeah.
example, the when we use the Zoom, actually one of my guests told me that I really would like to have the mute superpower. When I do like this, and all the students in the classroom can really quiet, yeah, and don't talk. From the Zoom, that one. And then when you do it again they start talking. That's the kind of things about it.
Yeah, there's no mute button in real life.
Yeah, that's the reality, but kind of a thing that
Yeah.
I really like the idea that he or she, I can't remember it, who told me one of my teacher talk sessions. I really like that one. But I really like the idea about the magic bus. It's really fantastic. Maybe one day the flying bus, you know, if they, you know, they made a flying bus, maybe why not? You can put the students and fly the bus away. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful one. And Charlie says Nearport is like a magic bus with the VR field trips lessons. Interesting. The Nearport one. I really, yeah. But
Cool.
okay, but you have to, I think you should have the VR equipment in the classroom to use it, I think, huh?
So one of the apps on Twinkl, which is free, is a augmented reality app that you
Mm,
can use with any Apple product. So if you have an iPhone, you can use augmented reality in your
wow,
classroom. And all you do is choose the thing that you want, and then it just looks like it's in your classroom from the screen.
I see.
And there's one of like everything from like the sun to Buckingham Palace to a rabbit to a dinosaur. So
Ah,
VR does require a lot of equipment, but AR just requires your phone, and that's
mm-hmm,
it.
that's it.
So yeah, I think that's a fun one to bring to class for free.
Ah, I see. It's
Yeah,
wonderful. All right,
yeah.
thank you. I'll try it, but I don't have a kind of iPhone or
Oh,
Apple stuff. And okay, when I have it, I'll try it. Promise. All right. And my next question is, by the way, you know, my questions are flying away. Just 3 questions left, you know, and the time's also flying. Yeah, we are
yeah.
really going really good and a really enjoyable one. All right, so here is the next question, Miranda. What advice would you give to a new teacher who asks you, "Oh, Miranda teacher, what is the best way for me to keep growing as a teacher?"
Okay, I think one thing you can learn a lot from, is teaching every single level from beginner to advanced at least
Uh-huh.
once. Because if you're teaching beginner, but you don't know what they're going to be learning in advance, you're not seeing the whole path.
I see.
And likewise, if you're teaching advanced, but you've never taught beginner, you don't have the whole picture of the journey of the students.
I see.
And I think when you have that like bird's eye view of, okay, this is the whole road that they go down, you can start building the skills that they will need later on, right at the beginning. And also at the end, you will know exactly what they already know and what you can build off of in
Mm-hmm.
order to help them on that journey. So I think that's what I would recommend. Like teach every level at least once so that you'll be able to better guide them along each section of
I
that
see.
journey.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's move to the next question. And what are your favorite 5 websites to suggest to use in teaching? The
Um,
first one is
Twinkl.
Twinkl. Yeah. Hello,
I would say
Hocam.
Twinkl Educational Publishing because they have 700,000 resources and over 100,000
Wonderful.
free.
I see.
That's going to be my top pick. But I would also say, like I said earlier, go on to encourage your students to watch Netflix at home in English with the subtitles in English. Everything can be an educational resource if they're using it the right way. And another one I just discovered, the British Council has some new comics,
Hmm.
which are great if you have beginner level learners who are teenagers or young
Mm-hmm.
adults, because a comic is so accessible. There's a lot of help with the story through the pictures, but it's
Exactly.
not for
Uh-huh.
babies, it's clearly for teenagers. So I love those comics. They're free. Um, yeah, great teaching tool.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And that's all. Would you like to add any more websites, or that's it?
Um, That's everything I can think of the top
All
of my
right then. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. And yes, Miranda, here is the last question. Ready
Yeah.
for it? This
Yes.
is the most difficult one, really.
Okay.
What is your motto?
My life motto. My life, my life motto is make decisions through love and not fear.
Ah, nice. So,
So do things because
can you?
you're passionate
Uh-huh.
about it and
Mm-hmm.
not because you're afraid of something.
Ah, I
Yeah.
see. Wonderful one. Thank you. Okay,
Thanks.
that's all. Thank you very much. It's a really nice motto, Miranda. All right. So that's all my questions, Miranda. And actually, before, and I mean, like, I don't have any more questions about it. And our audiences, do we have any questions for Miranda? I think they already asked, by the way, that during the sessions. So let's do like this. That's all. And would you like to add anything to our live sessions, Miranda, before ending the teacher talks?
No, just thank you so much. It was lovely to talk to you. It's so nice to be invited. I'm really grateful for and yeah, come along, say hello. I love chatting to teachers.
Mhm.
I love helping teachers. That's my job. It is my job to make sure you have a great time teaching English. So take advantage of that. And yeah, I hope you find some helpful things on
I see.
Twinkl.
Wonderful. And there's a question, Miranda.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
the question is, what can you recommend for private teaching online to young learners?
Like what resources in particular?
Yeah.
Or what okay, so one resource that I made that is free are communication cards, and they are like mini flashcards that you can hold up and they will help to clarify your instructions. So for example, you can have one that says like good job or one that says stop. um so I would really recommend that because you can make everything that you're saying really, really clear. Because as ESL teachers, we have to dance and jump and show pictures to make everything clear to our students. So this resource was specifically designed to help you do that.
I
They're
see.
called communication cards, and you can find them on Twinkl for
I
free.
see.
So yeah, grab those.
Okay, everything we're looking for, we can find in Twinkl educational website, I think, huh? Is that
Oh
correct?
yeah. Yeah,
Oh, wonderful.
definitely.
Okay, great. All right then. Yes, everybody. And I would like to say thank you very much one more time, Miranda. Of course, by the way, Aidano Jump says there are good young learners. Sorry, she says, let me just a moment. There are good young learners videos on Inget YouTube channel too. Yes, I don't know, Jam. I know that's Inget. That's one of the best channel about ELT world. It's really they have wonderful videos and sessions about ELT world. All right then. Okay, so I would like to say thank you very much, Miranda, to accept my invitation to Teacher Talks one more time. We had a really nice and fruitful sessions. Thank you very much about it. You for your time, for your suggestions, and for your ideas. And Miranda Crowhurst was with us tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lovely session. And also, I would like to say one more time. We are really sorry about the forest fires all around the world, as you know that. And I hope that as a whole world, we will get rid of them soon. And because we are really sorry, and they are really, struggling about it. And we will see each other next Monday with the different educators at the same time on the same day. And that's all for tonight from Teacher Talks. And take care of yourselves, and peace on you, and see you next time. And bye bye, Miranda, and bye bye, everybody. Good evening,
Bye,
good
everyone.
morning, and good afternoon wherever you are. That's all. Bye.